In this video, I'm going to show you how I used Amazon ads data to be able to build out a book brand that brought me six figures. So many of you have been asking about how to leverage pen names and what that means to have a faceless book brand. In this video, we're going to dive in. It's going to be a little bit more technical. I'm going to try to draw it out for you so you understand. But by the end of this video, you will have a clear strategy of like, okay, if I want to do this, I can do this. My name is Jenny Hansen-Lane. I've been publishing for 3 years. I've crossed six figures. I've published 610 books. I need to publish more. I think this past year I published 100, and I started moving from low content into medium content. Medium content is not classified on Amazon's website. It's just something we say as a community. One of the reasons that I want to move into high content is because what I started to see was, I developed it, it's called the book hierarchy, and I'm going to talk about it on my free training. So I'll drop a link below for you to attend the free training. I talk about the 3 things that help me get at six figures. But on this training, I talk about something that the myth, the man, the legend, Russell Brunson taught me inside of marketing. And what he taught me inside of marketing is that there is a certain amount that you charge people for things, right? So when we think about books, like we have a notebook, I'll just put NB, and we can only make a certain amount about it. But as we add more features, right? Like maybe this is a planner, and like planners solve problems, so we can charge more, right? And like maybe we have a workbook, and our workbook helps people get XYZ, and so we can charge more. So basically, like as we increase in value for the customer, then we can actually, and I guess value should go right here. When our value goes up, we can charge more money, we can make more money. Okay, so when I started learning this process as a marketer and saw success, I was also kind of transitioning into like what else I wanted to do. I had built a funnel and I used Facebook ads, and I made $30,000 in 40 days, and it changed our life. But I made some mistakes there. And one of the mistakes that I made is that we lived on the money because we were so broke. I was like, oh, we have gas money, we have groceries, and like I couldn't scale it. And I also didn't have anything else up here to upsell my customers. And so I never got over that. At the same time, COVID hit and the iOS update came where people had more privacy, where I was always like, how do I get back to that? So I dabbled around in digital marketing. I did a little bit of like client work. And then my parents got a divorce, and that was very traumatic for me because they were married 40 years. And I'm like, what's going on? And I took a break, and I saw that my little sister was writing a book. So I wanted to like be like her because I love her. And that's when I found Amazon KDP. And then I was like, wait, people are making money from journals and planners and notebooks. And then like I went all in on that, right? So when I went all in on that, I had this marketing background to take with me. And so that's why a lot of you come to this channel, is for the marketing tips and the ideation and strategy that I put into these videos that help you get ahead. Okay. So one of the biggest things that happened for me is you guys remember how much I made on Amazon my first month? Okay. So cute, right? Let's make it a heart. Here we go. My first month on Amazon, okay, $18.19. Do you know what I did next? I turned on an ad, okay, on Amazon. This was an automatic ad. Let me just make this a little bit smaller for you, okay? This is an auto ad. And so when you do an auto ad, it goes to 4 different algorithms, and this is called an ad group, okay? So in the ad group, there are 4 categories that Amazon is going to try to find your customers for. The first one is substitute. They're not in any particular order. The second one is close match. That doesn't even look like a C. Close match, loose match, and complement. Okay. So what happens is your book essentially is the ad. Okay. So in a way, it's just your book is going out, and Amazon is looking at these 4 targets to find you customers. Okay. And so what happens is you'll start to get clicks and impressions and sales, and then you can see where things are happening the most. Okay. Whether it's substitute, close match, or loose match, or complement. And what I saw from here was kind of crazy. Amazon started telling me what my customers wanted. And I knew this because I was seeing the customer search terms. Okay. I'm seeing the customer search terms. This is inside of ads. Okay. No one else gets this information but you. So that's why it's powerful to take your budget, right? So this, the $18, you guys remember how much I spent for the month on ads? $15, okay? $15 turned into $89, turned into $120, turned into $400, turned into $1,000, okay? A lot of people skip this step. They think, well, because they don't know. You don't know what you don't know, right? And because I had an ads background, I wanted to see where this went, okay? So I put in the $15. I start seeing cells. Boom, substitute cell. Boom, substitute cell. Close match, loose match, substitute, 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 substitute. Like after I got 10, I asked an ads coach who had never published a book before what I should do. They told me to duplicate this and just turn on another campaign. Okay, so what I did is I duplicated this and I turned off the substitute and I let these run. Okay, so then on my original one, I turned off these and just had on substitute. Okay, I need to do a visual on this so you can see. But what happened is when a book takes off, you can focus on what you have is your ad, right? And then your ad group. Your ad group, for me, it was just substitute, okay? And it was just focused on my book, okay? And it brought in, you guys, it was crazy, $46,000, okay, for that one book. So once I started to see customer search terms, then I went back to the drawing board, and the drawing board said, you guys already know, right? Make more books like this one. Okay, so I'm using the keywords, the customer search terms on new books, okay? With low content books, customers are going to type in colors, sizes, features, like they'll want, like some people want a really big one, one that took off was prompted journal and no date. Okay. There's a lot of people that they don't want a journal that's like, oh, I missed a day. Oh, I missed a week. Oh, I wasted 8 pages. But like someone like me that has a little bit of dyslexia and even ADHD, like if I miss, I want to come back and then I come back in and I fill in the date. So like a lot of those books can do really well on Amazon because that customer base is there. Okay. So those customer search terms, what I did next is I started creating, I guess I don't even need that. Okay. Because the ads showed me there was 4 targets. Why not make books that were matching those targets? Okay. So my next book that I made was a substitute. Like if I couldn't have this exact book, what is a substitute that I would create that the Amazon customer would want? Okay. Then I created a book that was closely related to my winning book. Okay. I did a book that I thought would complement. Okay. So do you see what I'm doing here? I'm taking these categories and building my own books off of it. Okay. How am I doing that? Okay. You might be like, how do you do that? When you see customer search terms, you also see your competitors' books. That's how I knew. That's how I knew what to create. If I saw something that Amazon was showing the competitor, Amazon was showing the buyer a competitor's book before they bought mine, I decided to make my own book like the competitors. I looked at the features, I looked at the benefits, I looked at the reviews, and I figured out how can I make this better without copying it. Okay. And so once I did that, what happened is that this was one pen name that had 120 books under it. Okay. This is my top niche right now. Okay. As of 3 years, it's made me 6 figures. And it was because ads helped me find that space where the customer search terms. Okay. So if you don't have customer search terms, you might need to run your ads longer, or you might need to have your campaigns on longer. You might need to spend a little bit more money. But to get started, you don't need a lot. So with anyone within the sound of my voice, if you made $20 on Amazon, I want you to think about turning on ads. And maybe even a good advice would be 10x your book royalties. Okay. That's when you should turn on your first ad. So now that my books sell and I have this niche, like this niche is a winning niche. So I don't wait to turn on ads. I know it's going to sell because of the demand and it's low competition. Okay. But for those of you that are like, when should I turn on ads? If you have a book at $9.99, it's 100 pages. That means your royalty is $3.69. When you have $30, or what is that? $36.90. I'm not great with math, but that's the great thing. I might be dyslexic, but like you can still make money online. So when you have about $30 in royalties, save that and use it for ads. Okay. A lot of people don't end up making the money they could because they're saving their royalties for who knows what. Okay. So there is room for you to grow. It can be a little daunting, but that's what this channel is for, to help you through that. I also have an ads course. I also have a free training coming up. I don't know if I mentioned that. I'll put a link below. I'd love for you to attend. It's really fun to learn and grow in a community space like that. And let me know what questions you have about scaling, about getting those book ads up. This really, for me, as I mentioned before, like it's just being kind to yourself and knowing that there's more out there. So if you've had a book that's sold, like that's a really big deal. And if you haven't, check out my other videos where we talk about keyword research. And I love you, and I'll see you in the next video.